Good morning. It's a fine October morning. What a good time to do a brake job. So we've got this 2006 Chevy Cobalt here. It has badly pulsing front brakes. So we're going to do a rotor and brake pad change out on it. Got some parts here ready to go. Ceramic pads and parts from CarQuest. So we've got a 19mm on here. We're going to bust all the lug nuts and jack it up and get going on it. Thanks for watching. Okay, we've got it jacked up now on this front cross member. I got a piece of 2x4 in there just to spread the weight a little bit. We're off the ground. So we're just going to take the wheels off and set it back down on these wooden blocks. Again, these are 19mm. Okay, with the wheels off, we set it down on those blocks. Okay, throw on a dust mask and go over the brake parts cleaner. Okay, to get the caliper off, 14mm, an adapter to 1/2" drive, and a 1/2" ratchet. And the lower one. The mounting bolt. And out comes the caliper. Now there's a pad holder, the way this setup is, that has to come off too. Okay, then with a bit of wire. Let's hang this caliper up out of the way. Always check out the caliper pins. And these are very good, so we're not going to worry about them. Completely free. There's wear left on the pads, but these rotors have gone bad. The pad holder bolts, 15mm. So we're going to use the same apparatus with this. Gives a bit more torque on those. And the lower one. There. Check the torque on these, it's pretty high. And there goes the pad holder and the old rotor. Okay, so it's important to go over this, the hub, the seating surface for the rotor. This one has rust on it. Clean it up as best you can. Take a little time on it. I'll use lacquer thinner, and then I'll put probably some caliper grease. Well, I think you could just use general automotive grease for this. It doesn't have to be anything special. But take the time, because sometimes when you take the old rotor off, little bits of it might remain on here yet, and that's going to affect how this seats with the new rotor on there. And you could have things have to be just right. Let's put it that way. A bit of anything on there could have an effect. Okay, make sure you go over the brake drums with some lacquer thinner, because they always usually put some kind of protective oil on there to prevent them from rusting. If you've ever dealt with a rusted on rotor, you know the reason for putting a little bit of grease on here. Okay, I'm going to turn one lug nut on here just to hold it in place. Okay, on to the replacement of the pads. I'll take out the inboard pad first. And here's a replacement. Now the inboard pad has a little clip on it here. It's going to go right here. The outboard pad doesn't have any of that. And now we have these two clips. That are being replaced. Just set them up the same way. I always put a little bit of caliper grease on these parts to help them come on and off easier. There. And we'll go to the other one. And it doesn't hurt to brush these a little bit too. And just grease up the contact surfaces here. There. On the outside here, this is the outboard pad. To kind of get this in at an angle. There. It is a tight squeeze. Okay, now on the inboard. With new hardware, sometimes these pads are a tad reluctant. You need a little tap for persuasion. It's a good idea now to check and make sure that you have the pads far enough to fit over the new rotor. Do that now so it's easier than later. It's a good time to put some caliper grease on the contact surface with the piston and with the opposite side of the caliper. And you can use the old one to be able to tell, where that should be, where you should be putting that grease. This will prevent the possibility of noise. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so it's back on with this pad holder. Okay, we're going to snug these up first and then go get our torque wrench. Okay, so these are a sizable torque, 80 foot-pounds. That's why it took a bit to get them off. Okay, so we took our piston down, our caliper down. Now we've got a large washer, a C-clamp. We need to retract this piston. Now one thing also, I double check and I can see it from here. Your reservoir, make sure that your brake, if somebody has added fluid to it as the pads wore, that would cause a overflow, which you don't want to make a mess. Just always retract this pretty much all the way. And you can pull it off. Now it should slide easily onto the over the new brake pads. I like to stick a little bit more grease on the contact surface of the piston here with the back of the brake pad. And I'll do the same thing on the outboard contact surface here. Okay, now we should easily be able to seat the piston. Make sure you don't twist the hose Make sure the hose is in a free position again, the way it originally was. And you'll have to push in on the brake pins, caliper pins, get them to seat. And we're pretty much back in position there. Okay, usually have to jiggle this a little bit, get them started. Okay, we're in. Okay, let's step this into high gear now and turn these caliper bolts in, snug them up good. Okay, the book says 25 foot-pounds on these caliper pin bolts. Well, there's why you want to keep track of that reservoir. I darn near overflowed it. Now this is the driver's side, and on this side the inboard pad is worn quite a bit more. I'm not sure if that's an indication of a potential problem with the piston, but I did notice that the pins on this side don't move as freely. So we're going to pull this apart, clean and grease the pins. We're not going to do a complete rebuild. We just don't happen to have time to do that. That might be ideal. Just pull this boot off there. And you can pull the pin out. And now we'll get inside there and clean it out. Also clean this old grease off, which has become, well, not all that greasy anymore. We're also going inside here and cleaning as best we can some of the grease from the inside the bore. Get some new grease inside of there too. Get the boot back over. They're off. Go ahead. Okay, they're on. Okay, release. And it released. One more time. And release. Okay, I'm going to check the other side now. Okay, hit them. Hit them. Okay, they're on. Release. And release. Okay. Hit them again. And release. Okay, looks good. Thank you. Okay, it's jacked back up. Putting the wheels back on. We'll set it on the ground. Torque it to 100 foot-pounds. And take it for a test drive. Thanks for watching.